Okay, guys, good morning. Welcome to day 3 of boot camp. Today, we are going to go over our agent site as well as the mobile app that we can give to our consumers so that they can search for properties. So before we get started, I want to make sure, does everybody know what your app web address or your website web address is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. Just checking in, making sure. If you ever forget what that is, we're going to log into command. I get asked this question quite a bit. So if you're like, I don't remember what my website is, you can come into command. And it's the last applet on the left called consumer. Consumer is what houses everything consumer facing. So our website, our app are in the consumer applet on the left. So once you get in here, you see you have several tabs and things to get around. But if you ever do need to look at your web address, you can come up to your site and app settings in the upper right-hand corner. Click that. And you can click on URLs, which is right here. And that will show you your web address and your app code. So I do recommend that you have your app code, save it to your phone, put it on your business cards, and you can even in your email, you'll see that when I compose an email, it says to download my app, click here. So I just have this image linked to that code in my email address. So those are some thoughts on what you can do with those. You can always, of course, just put your website address on your business cards too. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew where to get that. So again, consumer on the left-hand side. When you first get in, you're going to go to the upper right corner and click Site and App Settings. And then click URLs. And that will show you where those are. If for some reason you are not happy with the subdomain of your URL, you can see that mine is just my name, Monica Perry, and then it's .kw.com. You do have the opportunity to change this subdomain if it is not taken by another KW associate. So you could actually type something else in here, maybe like homesofthetriad.kw.com. You could do that as long as someone else doesn't already have it taken. So that's just a little aside there so that you guys know that you can do that. So I think where we're going to start off today is the things that we can do to our agent website. And then I will show you from the consumer's perspective what they see. And then we will move into talking about the mobile app. Does anybody have any questions before we get started? Okay, great. So here's my website. You can see that I have changed the background images for my homepage, as well as added several pages that you guys probably don't have yet. So on yours, you probably have the About Me, a Download My App, and maybe one that would say like your name, and then it'll have 2 images and some generic text there. So I actually removed that page from my personal website, but that's completely up to you. You can edit it out and do whatever you want with it. So this is what the website looks like. And we are now going to look at the things that we can do to modify it to our liking. So again, in consumer, this is where you get into the back end of your website. You can see right now I'm on the tab Agent Site Pages. And here are the pages that I currently have active. So I have a Testimonials page. Over on the right, you can see that my little eye is teal instead of gray. The gray pages are not active. You can delete those if you want by clicking the 3 dots like so and deleting them if you're not using them. And I make a lot of them to show folks how to do it. So that's how I end up with so many that aren't active. But you can see, you can delete those out like so. Okay. So now let's look at our home page and those background images. If you click again on Site and App Settings, you can see Agent Site Hero image here on this page. So this is where, if you have very high resolution photos, they do have to be 1200 by 1200 pixels is the recommended size. So if you have some photos that you would like to be featured on the home screen of your website, you can change those out. It also has very lovely pictures by default. So if you just want to leave those, that is okay too. You can see the Agent Site Hero text. I changed mine to say love where you live. You can see that reflected right here on the home page. So if you want to change that to your tagline or anything that you want to customize, you have the option to do that as well. We can add virtual tours to our website. So if you get a listing and you get a virtual tour made, you can upload that virtual tour from this page. And then under preferences here, this is where you have the ability to enable and or disable Keller Mortgage and Keller Covered on your app and your website, as well as choosing to enable or disable the neighborhood boundaries. So those are those neighborhood boundaries that we spoke about that are established by Nextdoor. So you can see if I'm on my website and I click to show my current location, it is going to show those blue lines, which are the neighborhood boundaries. So if I click on this blue section here, if my internet would catch up, that would be great. Then it will show you the neighborhood that is in the blue lines. If you do not like having those neighborhood boundaries, you can cut them off. I'm going to click into this listing. And once I'm inside of this listing, you will see Keller Mortgage and Keller Covered over here on the right so that they can compare quotes or get pre-approved for a loan from Keller Mortgage. So if you choose to disable those two things will disappear from your website. So does anybody have any questions about enabling and disabling Keller Mortgage, Keller Covered, or neighborhood boundaries? We good? Okay. So the other thing that we can come to is featured listings. We already covered the URL tab and what that encompasses. It's got the URL for your website and your app code. The featured listings tab is the ability for you on your website. Let me go back to my home screen to feature some listings down here at the bottom. Now, if you don't have your own listings, that's okay. I wouldn't recommend featuring listings from other brokerages, but most agents in our office are just fine with you featuring their listings. If you're on a team, you can feature your team's listings down here. I do always recommend, that you ask another agent if it's okay with them. Very high likelihood that they're going to say that's just fine. A simple email to make that request would be good. So maybe if you have a specific area that you're trying to target, maybe you're in Sparta and you want to feature all the Sparta listings on the bottom of your page, I just recommend shooting those listing agents an email and asking if that's okay, just as an example. Okay, so any questions on featured listings? And to get a listing, you just click select listing and we will pop into the MLS. I do not have my own listing, so I will need to borrow somebody else's listing. And we'll give them a little shout out for the great listing that they have. I think our internet is sleepy on this hump day. And potentially the MLS is down. Let's find out. You gonna let me in? There we go. So let me go to my matrix. And I will look for my office active listings. I'm going to sort by price and find something right in that sweet spot that everyone loves so much. Let's do, we did Woodington the other day. Let's look at this guy right here, Academy Street. So I can search by MLS number or address. So 417 West Academy Street, 417 West Academy in Winston-Salem. Did I type it wrong? 417 West Academy Street in Winston-Salem. Oh, I have only my listings selected, y'all. Don't do that. Change that right there and that drop down to all listings. There we go. So Chris Matthews, it's showing is the listing agent here. We're going to select. Shout out to Chris for a great listing. Click done. And now I have that listing selected and I can save the changes. So this is how you would add a featured listing to your website or multiple featured listings. Okay, you can have up to 12 featured listings. All right. Anybody have any questions on that? Feeling good? Okay, awesome.
I'm sorry, my mute button was on.
That's okay.
Would you go through those steps again? I just want to get each of the steps down. From featured listing tab.
I absolutely will. So we're in consumer. We'll go back to where we were. So if you click on consumer, this is where you're going to come first.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to click on site and app settings in the upper right here. It's going to bring us into this page. And we are going to click on the featured listings tab. And then when we want to find a listing, we'll pick one more. Just click next until we find something good. 680 Jonathan Drive in Low Gap. We will copy that. And we are going to click select listings. It'll bring up this screen. We're going to change this, unless it is your own listing, that's fine. But if it's not, you need to click on all listings. And then we can search by the property address, the MLS number, a city, or zip codes. Pop that in there. And there's 680 Jonathan Drive. Robert Poole, shout out to Robert for a great listing. Going to click select on the listing that we want. And then click done in the lower right corner. Just like that. And now we have 2 featured listings.
Right.
And so we'll refresh here. And it'll take a minute for that second one to pop in, but there's the West Academy.
I think you didn't save the changes when you click the refresh, so it might not have saved.
For Jonathan Drive? Oh, good call, Desiree. Good call. So it'll take it a minute to pop in there, but it's pretty quick. There we go. So now I have 2 featured listings down there. And you will see, especially on Academy, I should be able to show it. Let's see. That is 417 West Academy. Let me just look at current location. On the map, when somebody's just searching around on a map. Let me think about where I am. We'll let this load up. You can see where I've hearted, that's got a heart on it as an agent pick, right? So it will, oh, ideal. That's not it. Hold on. Got to think about where I am in conjunction to Academy Street. Should be this way. I'm used to picking some in my neighborhood, but I didn't see one. Look for 417 West Academy. That's the see. There it is. So it'll say agent pick. When you highlight it as a featured listing, it'll say agent pick both on the listing and on the map. Just so you guys know what that looks like. Okay. Good deal. So featured listings, that's how that goes. And then we have the theme tab. This is a very simple tab. Do you want your KW logo to be red or do you want your KW logo to be black? And the little bars right there. That's
It
all.
defaults to red, right?
It does default to red, yes. Good?
Yep.
Okay. And so then the agent site pages tab, this is where, say I decided I didn't want this home value page that I had added, I could come over and hit the 3 dots and delete the page off of my live site. So you can build a page and not make it live, right? That's in the main agent site pages tab. This is where all of my pages that I have built live. And then under the site and app settings, agent site pages tab is where you would actually remove those pages if you no longer wanted them. And after you've created a page, it will ask you, and we'll do that here in just a second. It will say, do you want to make this page go live? And if you say yes, it is going to default you to site and app settings to the agent site pages where you can add the page. Okay. All right. So any questions on what we've gone over so far before we move forward? And bear in mind, you guys, the main thing that a consumer cares about on your website is that search bar right there on the home page, right? So yes, you can spend time making it your own. And if you look at all the other websites, even the one that rhymes with pillow, front page, search bar. Realtor.com, front page, search bar, right? This is what people really care about, is searching for properties. So don't stress out about adding pages, rushing to add pages to your website, because it's functional. People can search on it, and that's what people primarily want to do, is search. Good deal? Okay. So let's talk about building a page. The first type of page you can build in here is an agent site page. That is a page attached to your agent website. We're going to look at that first. And then the second type of page you can add is a landing page. That is a standalone web page. So we'll look at that second. Okay. So the agent site pages that I have added to my website, again, you should already have an about me. You should already have a page that looks, we'll just go through each one of them. So the about me is just your photo with your biography. If you turn that into Scott Leroy Marketing, he's already set this up for you. If you did not turn this into Scott Leroy Marketing, it will just have a generic biography there that you can go in and edit later. Okay, so that's that one page that should already be set up for you. You should already have a page set up for you that looks like this. Now, granted, I changed my background image and I changed my verbiage because yes, I am an agent, but I no longer sell. I focus my time on teaching you guys how to use all of our awesome technology. I'm called an MCTT. So I chose to use my page like this to talk about what is a market center tech trainer? What do I do? And I am still an agent and I'm still able to help my past, present, and future clients because I can connect them with a referral agent, right? So I just edited my page to suit my needs. And you guys can do the same. Maybe you want to use this top paragraph to give yourself the areas that you work. And then as you move forward in your business, maybe you decide to get a GRI certification or a senior residential services, certification. All of these different specialties that we can go into as agents. Maybe you want to use your 2 paragraphs that way. Sky's the limit. It's completely up to you how you want to edit this. By default, it just has some generic verbiage in there. You can change out these pictures like I have here. You can change out this cover picture like I have here as much as you want. Okay, so that's that page. I also added a leave us a review page, and I'm going to show you how to do that first. It looks like this. Okay. A lot of times I get asked, what if somebody leaves me a review on Facebook, Google, Zillow, Realtor.com, but I want it to be on my website? If that is the case, we don't want to ask our clients to have to do it twice, right? That's not fun for them. If that is the case, all you do is go to your own website and copy that review and put it into your website, just like anybody else would put a review into your website. So again, if you have a testimonial from another site and you want it to show up on your agent website, you're just going to copy it over, put your client's name and info in, and then put the rating and the verbiage of their testimonial down here in this review box. And then click through and add it there. So that is how you would add one from the other sites. Anybody have questions on that? Awesome. Okay. So that's the leave us a review page. You should already have a download my app page that was set up for you. Now I apologize, my internet is being really slow today. I don't know what's happening. Let this refresh itself. It is really being slow. So we will maybe try to re-add because it's being weird. I'm actually going to do that. But you guys should already have that page added on yours. Okay. I'll re-add that here in a little bit. Okay, so then we have where I added a blog page. We cannot write our own blog content on these websites yet. This is still the first iteration of these websites. They are going to grow and change with us as the market changes, as things change, as technology advances. This stuff will advance as well. The only way that you can add pages to this, and don't be scared when I say this, is that you add in some coding. But there are places that are made to make it super easy, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Okay. So all you're really going to do is take the website or the URL from whatever you're wanting to add, and you're going to put it in the middle of some code and add it that way. And I'll show you exactly how to do that if that's something that you choose that you want to do. Okay. And so I did the same thing to add Smitty's notes. If you're from the Winston-Salem area, you probably have heard of Smitty's notes, things to do around hotspots, restaurants, events that are coming up, all that kind of stuff. I added this page the exact same way. So once you know how to add one page, you know how to add any page that you want to add. Again, all I did was take Smitty's notes website and put it into the code and put it into my website, and it'll link you straight to the page.
Interesting note, I went to school with Smitty and his brothers and sisters.
Wow, how
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, he's a good friend. Since
That's
we were in the
fantastic.
like 6th grade.
I love that. That's so cool. We'll tell him what I did with his website.
All righty.
Because I'm a very Winston-Salem girl.
If we ever get back to mixers.
Yeah, really, exactly. So this page should look familiar to you guys. It's my schedule and appointment page. And again, I did it the exact same way, right? I just took the website of my scheduling page and put it in. But if you guys decided that you wanted to be really intentional with time blocking and you wanted people to be able to schedule buyer consultations at their convenience with you, you could set up a calendar and link it to your website. Just an idea. I also added this home values page, added it the exact same way. And the way that I got this home values page is through Cloud CMA, which is part of what we get from Matrix for being a realtor. So the first step in adding this is to go into Matrix or MLS and set up your Cloud CMA account. And then they give you a link to this What's My Home Worth website. And then I just copied the website and added it to my own. And I can show you guys how to do that as well. Okay. And then last but not least, the actual testimonials page and what it looks like. And I've got to get some of these tests off here, but you can see how that looks. And I'm actually going to change mine. This is the carousel view. I did have mine on the list view, and I'm actually going to change it back. I showed somebody last month how to add the carousel. I prefer the list. So we're going to change that back today. So you guys will be able to see what that looks like. So those are all the pages that I've added. But as you can see, since you can add these third-party sites through URLs, the sky's really the limit on what you can add to your website. Okay. Now let's get into it.
Do I just make copies of the one? So this, just one of these covers this, the LTV.
We are going to go into consumer. This is always where we start when we're going to do something with our website. Okay. We're going to click the create a new page button in the upper right-hand corner. We're going to choose on my agent site and then click create page. It's going to bring us into here. We always want to rename our page. Okay. Like so that we know what it is. Upper left corner, we're going to rename the page. So the first thing I want to do is just show you guys the widgets that we have. Okay. So the widgets over here on the right-hand side, you have the team widget. So if you're on a team and you want to build out a page that looks like that, then you can do that. If you added the wrong widget, click the widget in the preview side. The left-hand side is the preview side, or this main piece. And then you'll see you get this little toolbar right here. You can just click the trash can. You have an agent profile widget. Looks like that. You have the contact form widget. Looks like this. The testimonials carousel, we got to look at that already. That was what was live on my site. We have the testimonials list, which is what I'm going to add back to my page. We have a company profile. So that's that one with the main paragraph, a section 1 and a section 2. And then you have a footer that's optional at the bottom. So that's what that one looks like. the testimonials capture form. Okay. And the download my app widget. So those are the widgets that we can add to our agent site pages. Okay. Even if you're going to build one of these third-party pages, you always must have a widget present on the page that you're building. You cannot build one without it. So a lot of times the easiest one is that contact form, right? If you're going to add something else, you can just drop the contact form below it so that you have a widget present on the page. So you can only build a site page if you add a widget. So let's talk about this testimonials capture form. The first thing you're going to want to do if you want to have a testimonials page is you're going to build the testimonial capture form first. And then once you have that built, pardon me for 1 second. Once you have that built, you have to add one testimonial to it before you can build the testimonials page that actually lists out the testimonials. Okay, so if you want to add testimonials again, let's talk about it again. You've got to build your testimonial capture page first and go there and add one testimonial before you can build out the testimonial page that shows the testimonials.
So quick question, Monica. Would the testimonial be submitted by your client, of course, because you're not going to do your own testimonial? Are they going to send you an email and just reflect on what their experience like, and you can just cut and paste that and put it in there? Or do they go to your page and click on something and tell what their experience was like?
Yep. So it's either way. You can always share this link with them. Get in here. I apologize for my allergies, you guys. The trees are changing.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with Sherwood Forest, there's a lot of trees.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have 13 giant oak trees just on this half-acre lot. So it's a little ridiculous. So at any point in time, you can go to this testimonials capture page. They'll leave us, or I named mine, leave us a review. This link right here, you can share that link, right? This link up here. And that will bring them right here and they can type the review themselves. Or if they, like, if you say, you know, can you please give me feedback or leave me a review, then you can come in and add it yourself here. So it's whichever one that you feel more feel is more convenient to the client is how you can choose to do that. So you can either share the link or they can just send you the testimonial and you can add it to your site yourself. Whichever one. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So to make the page itself, we are going to grab the testimonial capture form. The widget on the right, we're going to drag it over and you can see where the green bar goes is where you're going to let go and it's going to pop in there. And so with any widget, your next step is to click configure widgets down here in the lower right corner. Configure widgets.
Wait a minute.
Good.
Where was the configure widgets at? Trying to write fast.
It's down here on the lower right corner.
Okay.
Good. And so once I click it, it's going to pop out where I can change this. So team name, I can just say, you know, Monica Perry, MCTT. You guys could put whatever you would want. And then I can say, please leave me a review under the headline. And then the description is right here. Thank you for being a valued client. You can type whatever you want here. I appreciate all of my clients, blah, 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 blah. whatever you want to type in description. And then the review headline defaults to how would you rate your experience. The description defaults to thank you for being a valued client to help me to provide the best service. So if you don't want to change it, you don't have to. But if you want your own specific verbiage, this is your opportunity to type it in. The review placeholder text is what shows up kind of ghosted in that review box. So it gives them an idea of what you're looking for. So again, if you wanted to edit the way that read, then you can. So I did edit mine, right? Because I'm asking for a different type of review. Are you guys still with me? You look frozen.
We're here.
Okay, good. The internet's being really wonky today. So if you wanted to change it, you absolutely could. And then you always want to click save and apply.
Save and apply.
And so now you will see where it changed, right? I changed this verbiage. You can see your changes reflected once you click save and apply. And then you click save changes in the upper right corner. And so once I click save changes, it's going to say, would you like to continue to site and app settings to publish your page? So if
Once you click save and apply, this pops up.
once I click save changes in the upper right, so save and apply is just for that specific widget. So if you had added 3 widgets, you would have to save and apply each one. And then when you were finished, you click save changes in the upper right, this window pops up. So if you're not ready to publish this yet, say you want to come back later and make edits, you can just say, no, I'm not ready to publish. But if you are ready to publish, then you can click yes. And it's going to bring you back to that area where we're in the site and app settings, to that agent site pages tab I told you guys about right there. And then you would click add page over on the left-hand side. See it down here? Add page. And there's this one I just made, right? It's always going to show up at the top. You're going to click the little bubble and click continue. And so now we're going to give the page a title, like please leave me a review, or review Monica, whatever you want that page title to be. And then you have the URL slug. So this is what comes behind that last slash, monicaperry.kw.com/ whatever your slug name is. So I could change this to, you know, review Monica. Just keep in mind, there are no spaces. You can't make spaces in the URL slug. It's just one continuous string of text. So if you want to break the words up, use a dash, right? Use a hyphen. And then you can give it SEO, search engine optimization. I usually just do mine very broad in the same way. I do my name. I do Keller Williams Realty Elite or Keller Williams Realty 1. If you're part of Keller Williams Realty 1, I do my phone number and stuff like this. So I'm going to take this moment to tell you guys, there's all kinds of schools of thought on search engine optimization, right? You can do lots of research on it. There's all different ways that people say that it works the best. And these websites are not built for search engine optimization specifically, like some sites are. So those organic Google searches that populate stuff when you search Google for something, these are never going to be top on those lists. The point of Keller Williams websites, which is different than some others that I will not name, but they rhyme with pillow, is to put it in the hands of your consumer yourself. Shout it from the rooftops. get your people on your website with an account personally. We are a one-to-one communication company, not a one-to-many, right? So no, search engine optimization is not tops on this website's functionality. The point is for you to use it as a lead generating tool and to capture your client's information. Because remember when we were looking at that generational trends report on Monday, how many people, 78% interviewed one agent before they picked a buyer's agent. So that tells us you need to be there first.
Mhm.
So if you put this in the hands of your people, they're already looking here. You can think about our mobile app and our websites kind of like Netflix. If you put yours in the hands of somebody and they're used to using it and they're used to navigating it, and then another one comes along, they might look on it, but would you give up Netflix even though you started using Amazon Prime Video? No. Would you give up shopping on Amazon even if another shopping app that was nice came out? No, you're not going to give up the first one because that's kind of where you're comfortable, more than likely. So the key is to put this in people's hands, get them searching on your site instead of another site so that you can help navigate them down the wild road of real estate, right? So I just wanted to make that clear. Yes, you can put stuff in your search engine optimization box, and don't ever expect yourself to show up number one in a Google search for Winston-Salem real estate, because these websites aren't built that way, right? Okay, so just wanted to make that aside. So now that I've done this, I would just click save. And now on my website, hit refresh. On this very slow internet day. Review Monica. There's the page that we just added. It is now live on my website. Okay. So those are the same steps that you're going to use to add any page. Got to have a widget. Got to save and apply the widget. Have to save the changes to the website. Do you want to publish? Yes or no? If you say yes, it's going to take you into site and app settings. You're going to name it, give it a slug, enter any SEO that you want to enter, and click save. And at that point, it goes live on your website. Always the same steps. All right. So any questions so far? Good. I'll go ahead and delete this page. Okay. So that was how we added our capture a testimonials page. And again, you add that one, then you need to have your first testimonial added before you can build the page that actually displays the testimonials. Okay. So I'm actually going to show you guys exactly how to do that and make it live, because I didn't like that carousel page. So I want my list back. Okay, everybody ready to build the testimonials page? Okay. So for this one, same steps. Create new page on my agent site. We're going to go faster this time. Create page. Give it a name. Don't forget. I usually call mine what people are saying about Monica. You can call yours what you like. This time I'm going to bring over my testimonials list widget and let it go. I'm also going to bring over a contact form this time. So I'm going to pull over this contact form widget. You see where the green bar is? I don't want my contact form widget above my testimonial. I want it below. So I need to bring it down to the bottom till I see that green bar down there. And then I'm going to let go. So now I've got my list and I've got my contact us form. I've added those two widgets from the right-hand side. I'm now going to click Configure Widgets. I'm going to click on Testimonials List because I now have two widgets. So I need to configure both. So when I click on the Testimonials list, I need to give it a headline. What are people, or what people are saying about Monica? Cursor out of the way. Okay, headline done. Monica is the triad, the KW triad technology trainer, and prides herself on helping her agents become tech enabled. Okay, so of course you would write what you wanted to write about yourself and why you're proud to help your clients. I can then choose which of my clients' details do I want to show. If I don't want any of these to show, I can uncheck the box. So if I don't want neighborhood, for example, I can uncheck the box. And so now this is why you had to have a testimonial first, because now we have to choose which testimonials we want to show up on our page. There is a limit of 12 testimonials at a time. So I always come in, you know, like once a week, because I do have it in my signature to please leave me a review of my email. I come in like once a week on Friday, and I'm like, let's see if anything new got added, which ones can I select, right? So these are just test ones that I made, so I don't want those. I can also scroll down to the Browse Testimonials button, and it'll give me a nice pop-up here so I can see which ones I have selected and which ones are not. I don't want these tests. I'm going to choose which ones I want. Let's see. Take Lisa's for now. Keep a Wendy Taylor. But Daryl's.
See my mind, it does really.
And Donna's. So now I have several testimonials selected up here at the top, right? I'm going to click continue. Okay. So now I have my testimonials showing up. I have my contact widget at the bottom. I'm going to click save and apply on my widget. Don't ever forget on your widget, click save and apply. And then I can move forward with this arrow to my next widget in the upper right. That's the contact us form. I don't really feel like I need to change anything for you as an agent, right? I would need to change it for me as a tech trainer, but for you guys, are you looking to buy or sell? What's your time frame, right? You can just default that, or you can change it. I'm going to click save and apply. Again, widget, save and apply. I'm going to come into the upper right corner, click save changes, same steps. Yes, I want to publish. It's going to bring me back to my agent site and app pages. I'm going to move to my left, add page. Here's the page I just made. Click continue, give it a title. Make testimonials.
Add some chocolate. You run across any?
Testimonials. Give it some SEO. So I'm not going to take time to do that, and save. And now when I go back to my website, go back to my home page, give it a refresh, give it a second to load itself. drop down, testimonials. Boom. There's the page in list form. Okay. Good deal. All right. So we showed the testimonials capture. We showed the testimonials display page, right? Let's talk about adding these third-party sites. So which one do you want me to show you? They all work the same, but just which one do you want me to show you? Do you want to see the home value page? Do you want to see me add like a Smitty's notes type page or a calendar?
Add the Smitty's note type page.
Okay. So we can do Smitty's notes on Google. We're just going to search for it. Okay, so here's his website, smittysnotes.com. Okay. And we're going to go to darn it, I forgot the name of that page. Hold on. And I did learn this from another labs advisor. I want to give him a shout out anyway. So I'll pull up his YouTube. It's not him, it's Noel. Noel is another lab advisor, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name of that. Iframe Generator, that's what it is. So you don't actually have to write the code. You just go to iframegenerator.com. That's not it. iframe-generator.com. Everybody write that down, iframe-generator. There it is. Okay. And we want to name it. Whatever it's going to be, home value page, Smitty's notes, whatever it is. Okay. And he changes this to the percentage. He wants it to be at 100%. So this far right box, drop down from pixel and change to percentage and change it to 100%. And we'll give Noel a little recognition here. Let me unmute
Rate
him.
this iframe code. The name of this
So exactly
iframe dash.
what he did.
Okay, and then we're going to go to a website called Iframe Generator, right? iframe-generator.com. I'm going to want to change the name of this. Home value. Now we want to change this to be 100% because we want it to be responsive on desktop or mobile. Okay. Now I'm going to paste that website here, that link that I just did, and I'm going to hit generate here. That's good.
There we go. So you're going to change the height to 100%, or the width rather, 100%, and then change the height to 100, drop down, switch it over to percentage. Then you're going to paste this URL, whatever URL you're using. You're going to paste it into the iframe URL box. And then you're going to click generate. Boop. So now there's your code. So you just wrote code. Congratulations. Right? And so now that we have this code, we're going to copy by hitting the button Everybody with me so far? Iframe-generator.com, name it, width 100, you have to enter the percentage, height 100 in the box, change the drop down to percentage, paste the URL into the box that says iframe URL, click generate, copy the code. Ready to move forward? Cool. All right. So now we're going to go back to our consumer site, consumer applet, just like we always do. We're going to click create a new page, just like we have been in the upper right corner. On my agent site, create page. Always rename in the upper left corner. I'm going to do this Smitty's notes for boot camp. So I know
2 T's on Smitty's.
like that. Okay, now remember, we said we have to have a widget, right? So you can pick whichever widget you want to be at the bottom of this. The contact form or the download my app are usually the ones that I think look the best. So for this one, I'm going to actually do a download my app. I'm going to go ahead and drag that widget over onto my page. I'm then going to expand where it says content blocks right here at the bottom. Content blocks. When I open that, I have 2 choices, a picture or a text box. So I open content blocks. I got a picture or a text box. I'm going to drag the text box over, drop it. And I'm just going to paste that code right into the box like this. I'm going to click configure widgets because I always have to configure my widgets. The download my app looks fine. So I'm going to save and apply. And then I'm going to click save changes at the top. Do I want to publish my page? Yes. All the same steps from here, right? Brings us back here, add the page, choose the page we just created, click continue, give it a name. Give it a slug. Give it SEO if you want, and click save. Pop back into our website, refresh. Drop down, Smitty's notes. Oh, Monica, did you do something wrong? I feel like I did. What did I do? Oh. Why did it not work? What did I do wrong, Noah? Let's see.
It's going to generate this iframe code. Do it as a standalone landing page if I want. Change the name to something I can recognize. To add this text block here, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste that, generate that iframe generated code in here. Okay. Hit configure widgets. That's already done. Done. Save changes. We want to make it visible to the site.
Yeah, I did everything right. I'm positive that I did. Let's see why that didn't work. I apologize, guys. This usually, oh, it worked. It just took a long time to load because of the internet. My bad. It did work. So here's that. It's just being slow and I'm impatient. So it did work. That is the correct steps. I was like 99% positive that was correct. But that's the same way that you add any external page, right? The home valuation, any other website that you fancy. Maybe you have like a month where you want to feature local restaurants, locally owned restaurants. You could give each one of them a page. You can add whatever your heart desires in this same exact way. Good deal. Does anybody have any questions? Pretty easy, right? It's not that bad. It's a lot of talking to get to the steps, but once you've got the steps down, you can just add them in. And don't forget, you always have Noel's video. That's where I learned it from.
Where's the link to Noel's video? Let me get that information. Let's see.
I'll share it in the chat.
Okay, cool.
Give him some
Even
love.
better.
Subscribe to his page. He's a super awesome labs advisor. There you go.
Okay.
That video's in there. All right. Good deal. Okay. So I need to go in and delete this page because I already had that page. So again, you're back here, consumer, site and app settings, agent site pages. I don't need this page anymore. Click it, delete it, click to confirm the delete. It's gone, right? Just like that. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about landing pages because I really, really love the landing pages. They're a little bit different. They are standalone page, a standalone page. They're not attached to your agent website at all. Okay. Landing pages. So you have some different widgets too when you're creating landing pages. I'll show you an example of one right here that I've already built. So this is a standalone web page for the neighborhood Old Sherwood Forest. That's one example of something you could build. This is where I built out a open house login page. So when you're at an open house, instead of having paper and pen, have yourself stand out, have your tablet at the ready, some Clorox wipes, right? Make it COVID friendly. And they can just log in on here to your open house. And then guess what happens? Command captures all that data. So you don't have to come back from your open house with a sheet of paper and put everybody into command, because when they enter themselves this way, it automatically puts them in command for you. Pretty cool, right? So let's do it. We're going to do the same steps, create a new page, but this time as a standalone landing page. Okay. Create page. I'll show you guys how to do the open house one because I think it's a cool idea. So we're going to say open house, sign in. We'll give another agent's listing some love here. For 414 Lakewood Drive in Lexington. Shout out to Tara Marshall. That's a beautiful house. Okay, so we're going to make a new landing page. Let me get rid of these. Okay, open house sign in for that house in Lexington. That's what we're going to name this page. Now, tips and tricks. When you're going to add a bunch of widgets, which we are about to do, what I like to do is add the top and add the bottom, and then I add the other stuff in between so that you don't have to scroll up and down the page so much. So first we'll look at all of the widgets and then we'll actually build. So agent branding looks like this. The branded header, my favorite, looks like this. The lead form looks like this. The legal footer, like that. A listing widget looks like this. Bedrooms, bathrooms, address, the MLS description, slider of photos, details, map, right? Super nice widget. The listing widget. Market snapshot. That's like that Old Sherwood Forest one that I showed you. Pick a specific neighborhood or zip code, and you can make that. Your local expert looks like this. It's a nice looking little widget there. Got your bio. And you can add a video. If you're going to use this to add a video, you have to publish the video on YouTube because you have to have the link. So again, if you want to use the video and make a video of yourself or your listing or whatever it is, you have to make it live on YouTube to add the video to one of these landing pages. Testimonials capture form. So again, if you wanted to make your testimonials capture form just its own standalone page, you could. And you also have a download my app. So you can add this at the footer or something like that. Good deal. So those are all of our widgets. You could do the same thing with the content blocks here if you wanted to make a standalone page with something else like the home valuation, then you could do so. Okay. All right. So let's build this open house sign-in page, which I just love. So I'm going to pull over my top one first, branded header. I want to have my legal footer at the bottom. Okay. I want my listing widget. I'm going to drop it in the middle so I don't have to scroll all the way up and down. And then instead of putting the lead form at the bottom, which is what you would normally do, right? You're going to put it at the top because you want people to sign in. Okay, questions there? All right. Good. I'm going to click configure widgets. My branded header looks fine, but I'm going to say welcome to whatever that address was, 414 Lakewood Drive. Or I can just say welcome to our open house even, like that. Whichever one you want to do. I'm going to save and apply as usual. I'm going to wait. So welcome to our open house. And I'm going to click my forward arrow to my next widget. And this says form interested, let's talk, because normally this would be at the bottom for them to contact you. But instead, we are going to say welcome. Please sign in. And then we're going to click save and apply. So now it's going to say, welcome to our open house. Welcome, please sign in. And I click my forward arrow. I'm going to browse for a listing. And I'm going to search for that address. And there's that listing that I'm doing the open house for. Select. It's going to show us, we can change the pictures if we don't want some of the pictures, or if we just want to leave it like it is. The listing's there. The header image, I could upload a custom image. Maybe I had a different picture and I'd put some branding on it or whatever, but whichever picture you want to show first, I'm going to click save and apply. And wait for that to load. Now the listing is showing up. Got the address, got the bedrooms, got the bathrooms, the year built, MLS, info, details, pictures, maps, all the fun stuff. And then I'm going to click forward one more time. Make sure that we're saving and applying. Okay, so legal footer, all my stuff's already in here, so looks good to me. Save and apply. Okay. Questions? Good. Publish page, upper right corner. Publish. Yes. Okay. So now I can go to my landing pages tab right here. Open house sign in for 414 Lakewood Drive is right here. I can even come over to these three dots and change the URL from all this gobbledygook to 414 Lakewood. Open house, you know, whatever I wanted it to be. So only that little back area, and I can create. And now I have this awesome open house sign-in page that I can have on my tablet, open and ready at my open house. And when somebody comes to it and I'm like, please sign in, then they can put their info. Monica can't type today. I'm going to name this person Open House Hunter. I'm going to give them an email address. Right, I can put in their phone number. Like so. I'm not a robot. They have an opportunity to look through at all of these images after they get finished. They're going to hit send. So their information's in there. Now they have the opportunity to look at your tablet, read about the property, ask you questions, and then take off to take their tour. And the cool thing is, in command, new lead info captured. Click on it. It will take me directly to that contact. With their info. Didn't even have to add it into my database. It's already there. If they left me a note, I have it. Right? Where was it received from? The open house sign-in page that I built. What was the lead source? My KW landing page. Right? Super cool. What do you guys think? Pretty sweet? Good deal. So that's how you build a standalone landing page. You can build as many as you want. There's no limit. You can make them for open houses. You can make them for neighborhoods. If you made them for like your neighborhood, share it on Facebook. Hey, you want to know what's going on in the neighborhood? Click here. You want to just do it for the listing and actually put the lead form at the bottom and just say, check out my new listing. And then they have a beautiful web page to go to. You can do that. Okay. You can also share your listings like this. If you're on your own website, close down some of these pages so we won't be rolling so slow. If you're listing a new property, and I'm just going to pick one that's around me. Like that one. Ooh, it just went down $25,000. It's a good thing to know. You can go to the listing specific property page on your own website. As soon as it loads, of course. Like this. If this was your listing, this link up here, you can just copy it. Go to Facebook. Go to your business page. And you can post the link just like that and say, check out my new listing. It's going to show them a picture of the listing, the address of the listing. And then when they click on it, it's going to bring them back here to this website page. They can start clicking around, looking. If they want to save it or ask you a question, it's going to prompt them to create an account. They can see commute times, all this fun stuff, schools that are nearby, private schools, public schools, upcoming open houses, mortgage payment estimations. They can pre-approve with Keller Mortgage, compare quotes with Keller Covered, look at homes that are nearby. It's also linked to you directly at the bottom. So you could they could fill in their info here, and you're going to again get a lead in your command, right? So you can share it this way. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's just look around the website. I mean, pretty much self-explanatory. From the consumer's perspective, looks like this. They can search by current location, and it takes them, pinpoints them, and shows them listings that are around them, neighborhoods that are around them. Okay. They can create a search. They can click through on different houses. They can heart houses. It will show up in their timeline, in their contact, in command. Okay. They can see all this stuff. They can click through and look at the pictures. I pass this house every morning taking my daughter to school. They could save it. Branded to you, all the fun things. Now, in order for them and all of their activities to show up in your timeline on their contact card, they must have an account. They must be logged in. You can see right now I'm logged in as Dakota. And you might not want to count on your consumer to create their own account. So this is my idea for that. If you have somebody and you're like, I'd really love for you to be able to search around on my mobile app and my website, would you like for me to go ahead and create you an account? Offer value, right? That way they don't have to worry about creating it. You don't have to worry if they did it correctly. You can just do it yourself. So let me log out as Dakota. In order to do that, you just go to your own website, okay? And you can just let them know, I'm going to set this up for you. Your login is going to be your email, and your password is going to be your phone number. Once you're in the system, if you want to change your password, feel free to go ahead and change it. But you're going to come in and click sign up. You'll enter Samantha. No, we're going to go with Bethany Buyer. So you'll create Bethany Buyer her account. Bethany Buyer at gmail.com is her email, and her phone number is 336-555-5555. That's your password. You'll create the account for her and say, here you go, Bethany. When you get into my agent site, or when you get into my website, log in with your email and your phone number as the password. When you download my app, log in with your email and your phone number as the password. The account's already been created for you. Have fun looking around. Ask me for any questions, right? So that if you're trying to put this stuff in the hands of others, that is what I recommend you do. Ask permission, set up the account for them, make their life easier so that they can start looking around at properties. Make sense? You log back in as Mr. Dakota here. Okay, so once your client has an account and they're in here looking around, they can like I said, be hearting the houses and stuff like that. They can also click on one and they can schedule a tour right here. They can schedule a tour. They can pick today and maybe tomorrow. Maybe today they could go in the afternoon, or they could go in the evening, and then tomorrow they could only go in the evening. So any of those times work for them. Do they want it to be in person or on a video because of COVID? If they pick video, which platform do they want to use? If it's in person, they can just write a message, love this house. Can we take a look? And they can schedule the tour. You will get notified of that. Now, I'm going to take this time to tell you guys about Kelly. It's an app on your phone, K-E-L-L-E. You can download it from the App Store on iOS or Android. It is being sunsetted and replaced with Command Mobile. Fingers crossed by end of year. I'm not a huge fan of Kelly, and the thing I do like about Kelly is it gives me notifications on my phone. Okay. So if somebody did something like request to schedule a video tour, it would notify me on my phone that somebody did it. What I don't like about it is in order to see what's actually going on, I need to be in Command and not Kelly. That will not be the case with Command Mobile. It's going to be a lot better. So essentially consider Kelly to be like your pager. It's going to notify you if your paperwork gets returned. It's going to notify you if somebody logs into your website. It's going to notify you if somebody requests to see a house. But in order to actually interact and see what it is, you need to be in Command. Okay?
So is the Kelly app gonna be like obsolete once Command comes out?
Correct.
Okay,
Once Command Mobile comes out, Kelly will just go away.
okay.
Good? All right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen on my computer, and I'm going to start sharing my screen from my phone. So I apologize if I'm like looking away from you, but that's what we need to do. Okay. Everybody can see my phone screen, I hope. I'll make sure that I can see you guys. All right. Split my screen here. That's Dakota, by the way, looking out at the ocean. Okay, so Kelly looks like that. It's that one right in the center, the blue one. Okay. I have a specific sound set up. I'm an Android user. I do know there's a way you can do it on iPhone, but I don't know the exact way to do it. To set up a specific sound notification for a specific app, right? So mine is a very clear sound. I know if I've got something coming from Kelly. I just had my phone turned off because of the class. But you can see I have notifications on my little bell. Everything's going really slow still. Try to clear some stuff out. Okay. So my little notification bell says that I got a new lead, right? It says my compliance got returned. It's showing me all these different things that happened. So again, good for the notification, right? I'm glad it told me. But other than that, here's my answer until Command Mobile comes out. See the one in the middle that says Command Dashboard, and it's just got like a little Google Chrome circle. I just went into Google Chrome on my cell phone. I just opened up Google and I went to agent.kw.com, just like this. Looks familiar. It's your command login screen. I clicked my 3 dots in the upper right corner and I added it to my home screen. So it shows up just like an app. And if I click on it, it brings me right here to my command login page and I can sign into Command. Now, is it as easy to get around on here as it is on my computer? No, and it still gives me all the functionality for the most part. You can't like edit out your websites and stuff on here, but as far as getting into your contacts, seeing your tasks, seeing your notifications, all of those things, This is what I recommend that you do until Command Mobile is released. Just go into your browser on your phone and go to Command. If I click on the white KW on the red background, just like on the computer, I see all my apps, right? So I can click on my contacts and I can go there. If I click on my picture and my name in the upper right corner, I can see switch between my personal and my team. I can see my notifications, marketplace, etc. So there's that new lead form notification. There's my compliance stuff. And I can actually interact this way with Command from my phone. And it's not much longer before Command Mobile comes out. So you guys came at a great time. But this is what I recommend that you guys do for now. Good deal? So let's take a look at the app itself. It should look very familiar to you, very much like our website. It is the white square with the red KW on my cell phone. Let this open up. I apologize for the internet today. It's just really being a big pain and being very slow. But look, looks very familiar. It's located where I'm at. And it's showing me listings that are around me. Okay. I can search by current location. I see my neighborhood boundaries because I have mine turned on. One thing you can do, or your consumer can do, is that they can actually draw on the map from here, which I love. So when they're in the app, there's all kinds of stuff they can do. They can edit by for sale, active, pending, coming soon, new construction, price, property type. There's a more button, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, lot size, year built, has parking, keywords, open houses. Maybe they want to see what open houses are showing up this weekend. They could turn that toggle on. They can see things that have been price reduced in the last 7 days, right? Now they can view the default map or the satellite map, which the satellite map is the one that I prefer. They just click it and it changes it to the satellite. Say they wanted to draw, they can click the draw button and say, I only want to live here in this circle. Okay.
And what's the name of this app?
It's just it should just be Keller Williams in the stores. White background, red KW. Good. So now that they've drawn this map area, they could go through and edit by price. Oops, sorry. Pulled out my slidey tray. Maybe they want to stay right in this range, in that circle. You can see the listings show up and disappear as I change the price range, right? And then they could click this save flag in the upper right. Save. They can give it a name. Drawn area 27104. You know, whatever they want to do. And then they can choose, do they want to get their notifications never, instant, daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, which means anytime that something hits the market, when do you want to be notified of it? Anytime the price gets reduced, when do you want to be notified of it, right? And so the cool thing about the app is it gives you push notifications. So if something new pops up on the market, it will show you in your regular push notifications that you got something, as well as send you an email that looks like this. 2 updates in Old Sherwood, right? New properties, price and status updates, shows you how much it got reduced by. Those things can prompt people to get off of their fanny and make a decision. That just went down by $15,000. I want to say $15,000. I was looking at this house and I couldn't afford it, but now I can, right? So it might be something that you considered. Maybe their search parameter maxed out at 350 or 360, and now it dropped it below it. So it's now showing up in their search when it wasn't before. So that's really cool that they get both push notifications and emails. You can set up save searches for them. They can set up save searches for themselves. We cannot yet draw on our websites. Well, we can draw from our websites. We can't draw from command when we're setting up the searches for other people. That's very close to getting released, but they can draw from their end. So what I highly recommend that you guys do is go to your app and create yourself an account as a consumer. There is no agent login to the mobile app. Again, there is no agent login to the mobile app. Command and soon to be Command Mobile are your agent side of consumer, where we were hanging out all morning, and your contacts in Command, that's your agent side. But I have myself set up as a consumer so that I can go in and search and look and see how that interacts with my contact card in Command. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. And you see these emails are nice and branded to you and all the fun things that we want them to be. So I'm going to stop sharing from my phone now. And I'm going to pop back into sharing on the computer. Like so. Okay. So let's talk about all the different stuff in here because we're going to need this stuff for tomorrow. There are so many things that we can do with these websites for ourselves as agents. Okay. Well, first of all, let me show you in Command all the activity and what it looks like. And then we're going to start gearing ourselves up for the mindset of tomorrow with Facebook ads and campaigns and stuff. So go into my contact. Here I am. So look at, I've been logged in as Dakota a lot. Hold on. Let me get down. Tracking all my emails, like all activity. I can go through this favorited listings or this all, I was under all activity. I can go into favorited listings. So that's the kind of activity you can see when they're searching around on your website. Right? You see what they viewed, what they hearted, what they liked, all of that fun stuff. Let me go into Dakota because I think I've mostly been searching as him. Refresh. Oh, everything's being weird today. Well, normally it shows all of your activity on the website. I think they might be working on something in here today. But it shows like where they've been searching for houses, where they've added themselves to neighborhoods and followed neighborhoods and liked houses, asked to see a property, all that kind of fun stuff shows up in their timeline. The other good thing is when you're looking at your contacts from this view, you can look at this recently active column and sort by it, descending. So here are the interactions. Who's been active, looking at stuff, talking to me, doing things with me right here. You can sort by that, which is great. The little green check mark denotes that they are connected to your agent site or your mobile app. that they actually have an account, right? They actually have an account and they're connected. So you can see the benefits of this connection are really cool. Couple of other features of our websites, they can search by landmarks. So say they like baseball, they can actually search for Dash Stadium. There it is. Maybe they need to be close to a school. Maybe they need to be close to their office. Maybe they want to be close to downtown or a restaurant or a bar or whatever it is, right? So they can search by landmark. And then as they scroll out, they can begin to see listings that exist around it. There's that one over on Academy that we listed earlier. So they can start looking at listings that are surrounding the area that they want to be in, which is cool. And I forgot to touch on one thing with you guys, and we're going to look at that real quick. The guide. Some people love it, some people don't. I think it's cool. This is the guide that's built into both our app and our website. Keep in mind, it was built for the entire country, not just Winston-Salem or Greensboro, North Carolina. Not every state practices due diligence, so the nationally branded one didn't mention due diligence, and that's a real big deal here, right? So I highly recommend, if you're going to be walking people through the guide, that you go in and edit your guides out to yourself. You can do that the same place we were in our website. You come into command, go to consumer, and you click on the guide builder. There's a buyer's guide, there's a seller's guide. Okay. You can edit all this stuff out as much as you want. You can add steps and take away steps. I've taught a whole class on this if you're interested in editing out your guides and changing them. Let me find that video for you. It is probably under here. Let me look for it. I'll find that video for you guys, but it is on my YouTube channel. I just don't want to take up our class time with it. But what I did in that class, and I should be able to share this with you. It loads up. I'll put it in the chat. Fire guide. This internet is killing me today, y'all. I am so sorry. It is like painfully slow. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I went through and edited out these guides, and I made you guys the whole thing. Here's a note from me. The guides are fully customizable. I'm showing you what I did. So what I did is in the red. So like that first step in mine, I actually added that step because originally the first step was only for Keller Mortgage. and I wanted to talk about my local lenders and give them the opportunity for Keller Mortgage. So I added a step, right? So it shows you exactly what I did. On the Keller Mortgage one, I renamed it. I'm telling you exactly what I did. I added stuff in about due diligence. You can just copy and paste this stuff. You can make the edits. If you're going to edit it in the Google Doc, not in the guide itself. And I'm going to show you why. Say you wanted to edit this get pre-approved card. I'm going to click on it. I could change out the image if I wanted. I could change out the title if I wanted, and see how small like the card subtitle and the workspace is for all of this text. That is not an easy place to edit. So actually edit it out in the Google form and then just copy and paste it where it goes. Okay. So I'm going to share this in the chat. This is the buyer guide. It's not something that you have to do right away. But nonetheless, it is nice to have it edited, because what we hear from clients is that they want, agents are like, well, my people need to be able to get in touch with me all the time. That's not true. They need to be able to get information all the time. So if you have the guide set up and they're like, well, what's my next step after I get pre-approved? They have something that they can look to for an answer, right? But if you're going to be intentional with using them, I highly recommend that you edit them first before you start saying, go into your guide, right? I'm going to copy the link again and put it in the chat. Buyer guide, seller guide. You guys are welcome to use those as you would like. Okay, so that's where you edit the guides. And then that was what the guides looked like, where I edited them. And you can see, if I get back in there and I get back in here and I go to opportunities, we saw this yesterday. Just waiting. Let's go into Dakota, into one of his opportunities. He's right here. Under his seller profile, check it out. He's registered with my consumer platform and he's on step 4 of 6. He's staging his home for sale. So this is my view as the agent. I can look at it and I can say, okay, we completed appraisal or we closed, and I can save the changes, and it's going to update for him in his app and on his website, showing him that these things were done. So from his side, I am logged in as Dakota. If he's in his guide, on his selling side, he can see what we've done, right? Or he can check them off himself. He can mark the step as completed. We already staged my home. I already was showing my home. He can go through and check them off himself, but you can see from his view, it looks nice, right? And so you can see I talked about due diligence, which is really big here. I used most of the verbiage that they already had. I added to it with stuff that was North Carolina specific. Radon, for example, right? That's a big deal here too. So the guides are super cool. Okay, so that pretty much covers us from the agent side, them from the client side, what it looks like, how it tracks it in their contact, all the different moving parts and pieces, adding pages and stuff like that. So now I want to gear you guys up for tomorrow. When we talk about running Facebook ads and doing Facebook posts, but specifically Facebook ads, one of the biggest things I'm going to teach you is how to hack your website to give you content to post ads for. So a lot of us, when we're new, we don't have a bunch of listings that we can run an ad on, right? So there are other ads that we can run. For example, right? Say I really want to work in the 27104 zip code in Winston-Salem. Okay, I can go to my website and search for 27104. And now I'm going to see all of the listings that are in 27104 with the line surrounding the zip code, right? Cool. That's really neat. But now I can come up to these filters. Maybe I only wanted to look at an ad for luxury properties. So $500,000 minimum. Done. Find luxury properties in Winston-Salem. There's an ad right there. Right? This link is a live, always link that's going to take them to luxury properties in 27104. I'll do one better. More. Scroll to the bottom. Price reduced in the last 7 days. Click. Recently reduced luxury homes in 27104. That's an ad right there that can make people click. I want to see homes that recently reduced in 27104. Right? The cool thing about our websites, it even shows you by how much. That one reduced by 50,000, 24,000, 25, 26, 20,000, 30K, and $10,000. So they can actually see the amount of the reduction. You could do this for any zip code, the entire city, a specific neighborhood, right? And then you can run those Facebook ads without having a listing. Because a lot of the videos and things you're going to see about running Facebook ads through command are going to say, pick your listing, run the ad. That's great. And those do work really well. And not everybody has a listing, but you can always ask to borrow a listing. But if you don't want to, or if you just want some different ideas of ads that you can run, a lot of that's going to be used through your website. Okay. So the biggest thing that we have to keep in mind tomorrow when we're going to be talking about running ads, we're going to cover a lot tomorrow, all the fun stuff, doing designs and marketing and running ads and doing social posts and all that kind of fun stuff. Okay. But one of the biggest things we want to keep in mind when we're running ads is it's not just about the ad, and the ad, running the ad itself is super simple, really. It's about the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. So if you have not gone and started looking at smart plans, which are the easiest way to systematically follow up with the lead, try to do that overnight. The good thing is, in command, if you go to smart plans, which is the fourth applet on the left, right here. Right now I'm in my smart plans, but if you move to the library, there exist hundreds, if not thousands, of smart plans that other Keller Williams agents have shared, including me. So if you want to look for mine, you can come up to the search bar and type 994, or if you're in Greensboro, you can type 509. They'll both take you to the same set of smart plans. Okay. One of which is a Facebook follow-up. You will see it is long. It's got a lot of steps. Make a phone call, send an email, delay a day, send a text, delay 2 days, send an email, delay 5 days, make a phone call, delay 1 day, send an email, delay 4 days, send a text. It's a lot of steps because when people click on an ad in Facebook, they might not necessarily be looking for a house today. They just thought, oh, look at the pretty garden in front of that house. Click. But that means that there was something in their head that made them want to click it. So maybe they're going to look to move in 6 months. But you have to have some kind of follow-up in place in order to follow up with those leads. Because somebody ran an ad the other day for the first time, and he's already got 40 leads. And he was like, ah. So I know the people in this room that are from Team Overby, you guys have great smart plans in place for this already, but there are lots of those available for everyone. So don't forget to go to smart plans. You can search for my stuff. You can just search for Facebook. and you're gonna see smart plans that pop up. Facebook lead follow-up, Facebook paid ad lead follow-up, Facebook lead follow-up. There's tons of them in here. So find what you like and be ready with the smart plan before you ever consider running the Facebook ad. Okay? So I want you guys to put that in your head before tomorrow. And without further ado, I think that covers everything we're going to look at today, pending that you all don't have any questions. And since everybody's off camera, I don't know if you guys have questions or not. Anybody have anything they want to add or ask? No? Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I enjoyed going over our mobile app and our agent websites today and all that those entail. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you learned a lot, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 10. Bye.